instances, it could be as little as 1/4 of the people there being paid. It really could.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I remember a time, even other people in some emergency services. I remember we responded to a rescue situation in Fairmount Park when I was with Winmore during a nor'easter, where some folks got stuck on a little bridge over the water, you know, the old stone bridges in the park, and water was rushing around both ends of their little bridge. I was in a dry suit. Eddie Lanuti was in another one. And we're there because Philadelphia Fire and was the rescue services. They were busy, and we had a boat. You know, because Manioc was flooding at the time, and they were busy down there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got called in, and you know, we're waiting on the plan, and one of the Philly guys says to another member of our department, "So, is this your regular shift?" And one of the brothers says, "No shift, we're volunteers." And the career guy was just absolutely stunned. Like, wait a minute, you're a volunteer and you're doing this. You're not getting paid to do this, and you have the training to do this? You know, he didn't say it, but it registered in the way he was stunned that, you know, volunteers can and do this work regularly and well. And
right,
if career folk in some cases don't see that, then how can we expect civilians to see it?
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. And that's where I've seen it very often with career folk that say, you know, same thing, once your shift's over, blah, blah, blah. Or you'll see that you're on an incident, and we go all over the place, so we encounter many different departments. Search rescue, we'll see people looking at their watch for shift change. And it invariably comes up and they say, well, when's your shift? It doesn't change. We're here, you know. It doesn't change. It changes when it's over.
Exactly.
And then people, you know, sometimes people walk away educated and everything, and then sometimes people politely look at you like you're a simpleton.
Yeah.
And go, what the heck are you doing, man? Why are you doing this for? And I've had people say that, you don't get paid for this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
I had a boss who did that in one of my jobs. It's like, why would you even do this? Like, if you don't understand it, then I can't explain it to you.
Oh, and that's it exactly. If somebody doesn't understand, they have to ask a question, and you don't have the capabilities to explain it to them because they just intrinsically don't see the need, and they don't get why it's a necessary thing. And you know, people say volunteers don't get paid, but I slightly disagree with that, because you do get paid, because you just don't get paid in money. Everybody does something because they get something from it, and it's that willingness to help or whatever. But you do get, it is one of the most rewarding things you can do to develop yourself, and to, you know, grow your skills. I see more and more people coming into it in the middle of their lives to grow their skill sets and still fill themselves. You have interesting stories, because I just could never be, you know, you go somewhere and people are in an environment away from work, and they're talking about stock deals and stuff like that, and just conversations that are just death to me. And but it's not anything they've actually done. It's not anything they've actually done. Like you're talking about going out to the bridge to save people during the storm. And it's not that everything's about saving people, but it's people need to feel safe. And when that shingle is hanging out and that truck's on the tarmac and everything, it helps them feel safe.
Absolutely. And
You know,
as a volunteer, like you said, you don't get paid. I think I got a little stipend for being an officer and for being president when I held those positions. But, it is certainly not enough to tell the IRS about. It's enough for a couple of pizzas and when I smoked a carton of cigarettes. That's it. It's about the satisfaction of doing good, doing the right thing.
yeah.
Whether anybody believes it is or not.
Right. And I don't think anybody gets into it for money or anything like that. They get into it because they want to help in their own way. And I think part of being a volunteer is that you get to help in your own way on your schedule, which flexibility is important to everybody in all aspects of life. But it's good. I hope that the job that you retire from is being the emergency manager down there and providing people with access to your experience and that you can help them live safer.
That's the goal. Help them live safer even if they don't know I'm doing it.
Right.
That's just for the recognition, not if they're doing it the right way.
And nobody, if all goes well, nobody will ever know who you were.
Yeah.
It's all goes well, then it's because if they're seeing you on the news, then something bad has happened.
Yeah, and again, it's like you said, bad things are going to happen, no matter how much we planned, how many hazards we mitigate. We can't stop hurricanes from blowing, tornadoes from spinning. But we can help people be prepared to deal with them and save their own lives and build in a certain way, perhaps, so that the communities are more resilient and able to recover. That's it. And if the other people in your line of work know that you did that job, that's plenty.
Right.
That's enough. Nobody needs medals.
Yeah, no medals.
No you don't do it for that reason. Exactly.
No, but you're right about that. It is really nice when somebody comes up to you and points out something that was done well by your department or members of your department, yourself or whatever, and says that they noticed it, even though it was never publicized, put out there or whatever like that. That does feel good. It really does.
Sure, because it's coming from somebody who knows.
Right.
Somebody who has possibly been in the same situation. So yeah, that kind of pat on the back, that'd be fantastic. That if I ever get that kind of thing happen to me.
Yeah. I'm sure it will, because no one's going to come up with a cure for disasters. So all you can ever do is prepare and mitigate, because they're not going to stop. And whatever side of the fence you are on about what's happening with the planet, I think that everybody has to agree something is happening.
And that's got to be part of the planning too.
Right.
Things are getting worse.
Things are definitely getting worse, and I had an interview up, and we were talking about the weather, and it's kind of the ability to predict the weather has increased, where you need quicker predictions, but the weather changes quicker, so it's almost a wash. you know.
And it becomes more, and some of these weather patterns are more intense.
Yeah.
Hurricane Maria stands, you know, or Hurricane Harvey, or even going back to Katrina, where the storm caused a cascading effect with the levees. Or heck, you know, looking at Harvey in Houston, they had, a record of 52 inches of rain, I believe, last year. Who could have predicted that?
Yeah. Yeah, and we just, look, if you have terrorism or you have something horrible like that happen, it's going to hit, it's going to do damage, or it's going to have an impact, and it'll be a psychological impact, you know. But if the weather goes afoul and decides, the weather can eradicate us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the weather, and I've been saying this for 20 years, the weather is a much more serious issue to address.
I agree. You know, it doesn't have the same level of fear factor unless you've lived through it as a man-made or technological or terror event. I'm sure the people who, you know, lived in Harrisburg around the time of, or near 3 Mile Island, you know, are going to be gun shy about nuclear power for the rest of their lives.
Right.
But, you know, most people don't have to deal with that. But they certainly, you know, New York, New Jersey, remember Sandy.
Right.
You know, for example. So yeah, there are things you can't. We're not going to stop the next earthquake. But
no, and the thing you said before, you mentioned 100-year storms. You're hearing that phrase a lot more than every 100 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So something's changing, and there's going to, you know, emergency management mitigation plan. That really is a big part of the future of emergency services, because the best incident is the one that never happened because it was mitigated.
Bingo.
You know.
We are on the same page.
Well, thank you very much. And
Mark, it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Really enjoyed talking to you.
Right back at you, man.
I'll hit the switch.
Okay.